My name's Keith Davidson. I'm a professor of marine biology here. I've been here forever. I started working as a lecturer in 1998 and been looking at phytoplankton in general and increasingly about harmful organisms. The sea is full of phytoplankton and they form what we call blooms. So an increase in number is a bloom. Most of the phytoplankton in the sea are really good things. They're benign, they underpin the marine food chain, and they draw carbon out the atmosphere, which helps with climate change issues. But there's probably about 5,000 species of phytoplankton, of which maybe 100 or so are harmful in some way or other. That harm is defined really related to us, to humans, and often related to aquaculture because around about the coast, because that's often the sort of products that we're interested in. When we're talking about aquaculture, it's two ways primarily. One is that they can kill farm fish. And the second is that they can produce biotoxins that will accumulate in shellfish that can then be harmful for humans. And shellfish filter feed. They eat lots of phytoplankton. They filter tens and hundreds of litres an hour. And the toxins will then accumulate in the shellfish. So even though there might not be very many in the water, by the time you eat lots and lots, the toxins can accumulate in the shellfish. The shellfish aren't themselves harmed, but if then humans go and eat the shellfish, then the toxicity can be an issue. And that's perhaps exacerbated because the toxins are heat stable, so you can't get rid of them by cooking. So blooms or harmful blooms are really, particularly in a food system context, at aquaculture sites. So that's where we might be concerned if we're going to see them. And so typically we deal with that with monitoring programs. If you know one is coming, then there's the potential to undertake some degree of mitigation. For a fish farm, that might be stopping feeding the fish. That will reduce their oxygen demand. It'll mean that they won't hang around the surface and might go to deeper waters and might avoid the blooms. For a shellfish farm, really the best thing to do is simply not harvest. The toxins that are produced by the algae that go into the shellfish will eventually just wash away and the shellfish becomes safe to eat again. There hasn't been any human poisoning events since 2013, and that was quite an isolated incident as well that occurred through some anomalous conditions. So in general, monitoring does a really good job at keeping people safe and making shellfish a good product.